The next question has 3 parts, and it's in response to the work that I wrote about how do we use neuroscience evidence coupled with multiple intelligences to help people learn and to achieve better in school and in life. And the 3 parts to the question are, and I'm going to just briefly say these, are the concepts are embodied cognition, emotional rudder, and make it mean something. So very briefly, the first one, embodied cognition, has to do with the body processing thinking. And the second one, emotional rudder, is your own internal emotional evaluations and management that helps you through the problem-solving process as well as everyday life and decision-making. And then make it mean something means that when you're learning something new, it's not just disembodied skill, that it's connected to something of value and importance. And so the questioner, I think, is asking about, in the work setting, how do you communicate these to colleagues? And so my answer is, you might find that people may have a difficult time understanding and accepting certain abilities if they personally lack or have these as undeveloped, or maybe they just rarely use them or think they're foreign to the work environment. It's like failing to grasp a foreign language. And so how can we help them? Well, there's 4 ways that I think really do help people to come to grips with a new idea. The first is provide an explicit definition and a verbal explanation, right? Go to the dictionary, just explain it in a very logical verbal terms. The second then, after that, is to provide 1 or 2 practical examples from context that are familiar to them. Tell a story about how these ideas. And that story then should involve a very specific skill related to one of the 3 concepts that you're trying to communicate. Now, the last part of this storytelling is provide an anecdote from your own life. So what does this mean to me? And why is it personally relevant to your life? Because if you can do that, then the other person can begin to have some empathy of that this is a cognitive thing, but it's also a meaningful, the feeling associated with it. And the third one is make it meaningful. This question it's related to the answer above, to do those 4 things. But this is more specifically related to the all-important why question. Why? There are a number of why questions that you can invoke in order to help somebody understand meaning in their tasks they're doing. These range from the most mundane and ordinary of meanings of you'll get paid for it if you do it this way. And it ranges then up to the cosmic, philosophical, existential meaning of what you're doing for the benefit of humanity or your community or your team, your colleagues. Right? So it's answering questions or posing the questions is very simple as, why am I doing this? Why is this important to you? Why is it important to somebody else? Why is this important to my colleagues, my classmates, or to my teammates? How will this contribute to my community? How is this of value? Who values it? In other words, who cares about this? Because we all want to know, why should I care? That's at the root of this whole notion of meaning. If I care, if somebody else cares, then my skill and my understanding will improve at a faster pace and in a deeper level.